going on, guys? It's going to be another video about investing tips, and really this one I'm going to focus on some explanation that gives a lot of people confusion. And I've noticed it because I've been talking to a lot of my friends and acquaintances, and they're kind of confused about it. The topic is Roth IRA versus IRA. They're both IRAs, which is an individual retirement account. But what is a Roth versus a traditional? So let's say you invest $10,000 per year in a traditional IRA. That is called your principal amount. Let's say that $10,000 increases up to $40,000. So you earn $30,000 because it's total, your whole portfolio is $40,000, right? With a traditional IRA, you don't pay taxes on that principal when you invest it. You'll pay taxes on the principal and the earnings and on the entire $40,000 at the time of withdrawal, which is at age 59 and a half. With a traditional IRA, you are investing your pre-tax money. As you're investing, that money is deducted from your payroll and it is invested into traditional IRA, and you don't pay taxes on it. That is pre-tax. At age 59 and a half, you're paying taxes on the principal and all the earnings that you made. So with the Roth IRA, you still invest $10,000, and then same thing, it grows to $40,000. But when you withdraw the money at age 59 and a half, you don't pay any taxes. You don't pay taxes on those earnings or the principal. Here's why. Roth IRA, it is post-tax money. So when you invest money with the Roth IRA, that principal that you're investing, you have already paid taxes on it, and all the earnings that you made from that $10,000 post-tax contribution is all untaxed. As you can see, Roth IRA is much better because you're not paying taxes on the earnings. Historically speaking, your earnings are going to be way more than what your contribution principal amount is. That is the main difference between a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA. With that being said though, it depends on your situation, right? One argument why a traditional IRA might be better is with a traditional IRA, it is lowering gross taxable income because it is getting deducted from your payroll. So if you want to pay less taxes now, then a traditional IRA might be better for you. A Roth IRA, at the same time, you are paying the taxes on it now, but you will not be paying taxes on it later. So you kind of have to gauge when you start withdrawing that money from the portfolio, are you going to be at a higher tax bracket or a lower tax bracket? If you are going to be at a higher tax bracket at age 59 and a half, it is much better to do Roth IRA now when you can, so that when you withdraw money, there's no taxes on that because you are at a higher tax bracket. You're not paying any taxes on it, so you're not getting taxed. With the traditional IRA, maybe it's better to invest on that if you know that at age 59 and a half, you'll be at a lower tax bracket. But obviously, this is just my opinion. This is what I am understanding. So make sure you consult with an accountant, a CPA, attorney. This is just my views, so don't take it verbatim. Do your own research and consult with professionals. I'm not a professional. This is just to give you some ideas so that you know where to look, to give you some seed that you can maybe research and grow. And just some numbers you may have heard and etc. So usually your Roth IRA limit per year is $5,500. I believe this year it increased to $6,000, but it's between $5,500 and $6,000. And that changes every year kind of. And you can only invest in a Roth IRA if your income is less than $115,000 to $120,000 for individuals. So I believe last year it was $115,000. This year it is $120,000. So if you're below that, then you can invest in a Roth IRA. With a 401k, you could invest up to $19,000. Last year it was $18,500. This year it is $19,000. If you want to, you could invest $19,000 in a Roth IRA inside your 401k. And then on top of that, in your own Roth IRA, which is outside of your 401k, you could invest another $6,000. So potentially this year, in year 2019, you could invest up to $25,000 in a Roth IRA. With the 401k, $19,000 is a limit. If you want to, you could also invest $19,000 of traditional IRA, if that makes sense for you. Or you could do a mixture of that, maybe 60% of $19,000 into Roth IRA, 40% of $19,000 into traditional IRA. That's up to you. That's up to your situation. It all depends what makes sense for you. Make sure you consult with a professional to get that advice. So that's kind of the clarification. I know a lot of people get confused about it. Just wanted to see if I could help out someone. More to come, guys. Like, share, and subscribe.